Are you experiencing domestic violence? Do you know how to protect yourself against your abuser? Hi, I'm Simon Dippenaar and I'm a family lawyer. Domestic violence affects people across all communities. It doesn't care about your educational status, your economic standing, or your social class. Domestic violence refers to a pattern of abusive behaviors by one person against another and includes various forms of abuse, including physical, emotional, sexual, and economic. Domestic violence is perpetuated against an intimate partner or former partner who could be a spouse, cohabitee, or relationship partner. Our South African rates of gender-based violence are much higher than the global average. Statistics vary, but a recent report by the Lancet Psychiatry Commission on intimate partner violence and mental health asserts that worldwide 27% of women and girls aged 15 and older have experienced either physical or sexual intimate partner violence. But in South Africa, the figure is a staggering 1/3 and may even be as high as 50%. Think about that for a minute. Half of all South African women at some point in their lives will experience violence committed by someone they know and love. Survivors often don't seek help or even report abuse because of a lack of access to resources, inadequate support services, and a fear of reprisal. So let's look at the legal protection that exists and how you can access it. The Domestic Violence Act 116 of 1998 is there to safeguard individuals who experience domestic abuse. The Act applies to people in domestic relationships. You're deemed to be in a domestic relationship if you are or were married to your partner or have lived together in a relationship like marriage. You were engaged, dating, or involved in a romantic, intimate, or sexual relationship. You are parents of a child together. You are family members related by blood, adoption, or marriage. You are in a close relationship and share or have previously shared a residence. The Domestic Violence Act allows you to apply for a protection order to keep your abuser away from you. This is a court order that lists various acts a respondent, your partner, is prohibited from committing in relation to a complainant, you. Its aim is to prevent further harm to you. A protection order can be obtained in person at the nearest magistrate's court by completing an application. You'll need to write an affidavit setting out the history and instances of domestic violence. You should include details such as dates, times, location, and the nature of the domestic violence, any evidence or proof, and any harm or damages caused. This might be photos of injuries, a police report, or medical report. The reason for the urgency and the nature of the protection you are seeking must be included in the application. The application is submitted to the clerk of the court, who then presents it to a magistrate. You don't have to wait for Monday morning if you are in danger after hours. A magistrate is required to be available to issue protection orders 24/7. If the magistrate is satisfied there is sufficient evidence that your partner has committed or is committing domestic violence, you are suffering harm, and issuing a protection order is necessary to protect you from harm, an interim protection order and a suspended arrest warrant is issued. The interim protection order must be served on your partner personally by the police or the sheriff. It must notify them that they are entitled to oppose the application. Now, on their return date, both you and your partner have an opportunity to present evidence to show why a final protection order should or should not be granted. Now, if the court is satisfied there is sufficient evidence, it will issue a final protection order and a suspended arrest warrant, which must be served personally on your partner. When the court issues a protection order, it must also issue a warrant of arrest. However, the arrest warrant is suspended as long as your partner complies with the terms and conditions of the order. Failure to comply is a criminal offence. If your partner contravenes the terms and conditions of the protection order, the police are authorized to arrest them. An interim protection order is enforced until it is either replaced by a final protection order or set aside by a court. A final protection order remains in force indefinitely or until it is set aside by a court. If you're experiencing domestic abuse, call or WhatsApp me now on the number below. Together we can end the suffering. I will serve a protection order on your partner, connect you to support services, and make sure you and your children are safe.